The global population continues to face many challenging situations daily. Climate change, financial losses, fear, anxiety, sickness, death. It may sometimes seem like this season of gloom will never end, and many are losing hope. The future may be daunting, but in the midst of your hopelessness, I can assure you that God, who is the creator of this world, still has the world in the palm of his hands, and for this reason, you can still have hope.
Well, welcome again to the Wednesday night Bible study for the Stonecrest Church of Christ. It's a plum picking pleasure that is presented to us each Wednesday evening to be able to come into your homes, your places of work, as you are driving, or wherever you are, as you are looking and listening and viewing this Wednesday night Bible class. Thank you so very, very much. Before we begin our presentation on tonight, there are two very important announcements that I want to bring to your attention. You'll see the flyers at the end of this presentation here tonight. We're having our annual ladies symposium that's presented by our women's ministry at Stonecrest Church. They call themselves LIGHT, or Light. Saturday, September the 13th, the symposium will convene. There will be two primary and major presenters on that day from the Southern Hills Church of Christ in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm thinking of some bologna here because I'm rather kind of hungry up in here. But from the Southern Hills Church of Christ in Charlotte, North Carolina, will be Tanya Hornter. Tanya is an outstanding presenter and speaker and lecturer, and you're going to be blessed having heard her. And then our own Dr. LaWanta Twaits, an outstanding educator. LaWanta has just retired after all of these years of being in education, and an outstanding speaker and lecturer, insightful presenter in her own way. And so you're going to be blessed by both of these ladies. If you're a member of the Stonecrest Church, there is absolutely no cost to you. Our ladies are funding this themselves. They just want you to come and join with them. Their theme is going to be Daughters of Grace. So mark that date on your calendars again. September the 13th, 2025. And then later in the month of September, we'll be having our annual Issachar Golf Scholarship Tournament. It will be hosted at the Crystal Lake Golf and Country Club in Hampton, Georgia, just a couple of miles from our own church building here in McDonough. We're raising funds to be able to support and encourage our college students, as well as students at Southwestern Christian College in Terrell, Texas. Individually, to play golf with us that day is $125. We would encourage you to bring a team. The cost of a team in the competition is $500. Now, for first place, there is a $500 first place prize. So if you win, you've gotten your registration back. So if you got game, then come and be a part of our annual scholarship golf tournament. Ricky Miller is our tournament director. He's doing a tremendously good job in organizing this tournament, as he has done the last several years. Give him a call. That information, as I said, is on the flyer that you will see at the end of this presentation. Let's get to the matter at hand here. I want to talk about tonight, listen to me carefully, when false gods come hopping home. Now, let me give you the background so I can give you the breakdown. Let me give you the context so I can share with you the content. I'm in a series on Wednesday night that we have entitled Plagues That Preach. What I'm dealing with are the 10 plagues that God sent on the Egyptian empire with a specific message from God by Moses to Pharaoh to let my people go. Well, Pharaoh is hard-headed and hard-hearted, so God has to get his attention. So God is going to send 10 plagues, and a plague is nothing more than a judgment. And each judgment, listen to me carefully now, each judgment is going to be a judgment of exposure of one or more of the many gods and goddesses of the Egyptian mythological system. We showed you last week at Exodus 12 and verse number 12. In the last of those plagues, God said, I'm going to send a plague of judgment upon the firstborn of every household. The firstborn will be protected if there is blood that's covering that house. If there is no blood on the doorpost and on the lintels, the side posts of the house, then the firstborn in that house is going to die. And he tells us why. He's doing that because he is bringing, watch this, judgment on the gods of Egypt to show them, watch this, Exodus 12:12, I am the Lord. God is trying to say, I'm God. And I'm God. Oh, you got it right. I hear you. I'm God all by myself. I'm going to show you when I get to that 10th plague that one of their gods controlled the firstborn. But God is trying to say to them, listen, I'm God. And watch this. Your religion, oh my goodness, your religion and your gods have no power and no efficacy when I show. And so what I'm doing is taking week by week each one of these plagues to show you that God is exposing the God that plague was sent to expose. Last week's lesson, as you see the graphic on the screen there, God turns the Nile River into blood. And everything in the Nile is going to die. When I got home last Wednesday night, my wife said to me, she said, I didn't know that the Nile River was that expansive. And I thought about something that I didn't think about when I was preaching to you last Wednesday night. Remember, I said that the Nile River is 4,100 miles inland. It covers 11 countries. And this is what I forgot to share with you. And I didn't think of this insight until she raised the question of the observation. Listen, if it's 4,100 miles, don't you know that more than Egypt was affected by the plagues that came on Egypt? I mean, think about it for a second. While God sent the plague on Egypt, the Nile is 4,100. It's 4,100 miles. It didn't just start and end in Egypt. So think about it. 11 countries, 4,100 miles of, watch this, stank and stench. But what I showed to you is that the Nile was the lifeblood of Egypt. I mean, from the shipping industry to warfare to maritime, their economy, God's first judgment was on their economy. And I talked about last week, watch this, the God who rules the river. And as you see on the screen, what we depend on most can become undrinkable if it's not God. Ooh, wee! That's a preaching right through there. Now, this week, I want to talk about the second plague. That is the plague that God is going to send frogs, watch this, to the same river. Oh, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Now, all of the fish, all of the stuff that lives in the Nile, watch this, it's dead. It's stinking. You can't drink the water. The lifeblood, the economy has been affected. And what God, see, the whole point of the first plague is this. God reveals and demonstrates his absolute authority over all false gods and human sources of security, parenthetically, the now, declaring that he alone is God. Now, tonight, I want to talk about, watch this, when your false gods come hopping home. Let me read it to you. Exodus chapter 8, beginning at verse number 1. Then the Lord said to Moses, go unto Pharaoh and say to him, thus saith the Lord, let my people go, that they may wash this, that they may serve me, that they may worship me. Let them go, that they may worship me. But if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will plague all your country with frogs. The Nile shall swarm with frogs that shall come up. Watch this. God said, when I send these frogs, I'm going to send them to the White House, and I'm going to send them to your house. Ooh, like me, teach that book. Now, you remember a few years ago when COVID came, you got it right. You remember that Trump was president when COVID came? It walked right up in and behind the White House into the Oval Office. Now, I do not believe that God sent COVID. I do believe God allowed it. All right. But I want you to watch this. The text says that when the frogs come, they will come into, watch this, your house. Now remember, he's talking to Pharaoh. Pharaoh lives in the palace. He says it's going to come in your house. Watch this. Not only is it going to come in your house, it's going to come in your bedroom. And not only is it going to come in your bedroom, it's going to jump in the bed with you. Did you read it? It's right on your screen. He said to Pharaoh, God's going to send frogs. They're going to swarm the land, and they're going to hop in your house, and they're going to hop into your bedroom, and they're going to hop into your bed. They're going to go to your kitchen. They're going to go to your cupboard. Anywhere and everywhere there is space, these frogs are going to be. I want you to watch this. About a frog. He's not an aggressive kind of pest. Watch this. He's not even a harmful kind of pest. You know, he ain't like a tick he's going to stick to you. He's not like a mosquito that's going to bite you. Frog ain't going to do anything to you. Watch this. He's harmless. But I want you to watch this. He's a nuisance. And watch this. He's noisy. Oh, y'all ain't listening to me tonight. Think it through with me. God said, I'm going to send frogs. I'm going to send them to the palace. I'm going to send them to your bedroom. I'm going to put them in your bed. Can you imagine jumping in your bed and all of a sudden you fighting frogs? Now, I'll tell you what, listen, frog legs, frog legs be good. But I don't want to eat them morning, noon, and night. But watch this. He said, I'm going to send these frogs. They're going to come to the palace. They're going to jump in your house. They're going to get in your bedroom. They're going to get in your bed. They're going to be on your in your mattress. I want you to think of millions, even billions of frogs. Everywhere you step, you're stepping on a frog. And then he says, and into the houses of your servants and your people, and watch this, and in your ovens and in your kneading bowls. He says, not only watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. I'm trying to hold this shout right through here. But watch this. Not only are the frogs going to come into your places, they're going to jump on your purpose, on your people. They're going to get on your person. Can you imagine sleeping? Watch this. on a frog, around a frog, and frog on top of you. Watch this. Making noise. Are y'all listening to me tonight? The frog shall come up on you and on your people and on all your servants. The Lord said to Moses, say to Aaron, stretch out your hand with the staff over the rivers, over the canals, and over the pools, and make frogs come up on the land of Egypt. So Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. But I want you to watch this. Ooh, watch this. Watch this. But the magicians did the same by their secret arts and made frogs come upon the land of Egypt. Y'all missed that. Watch it. God has already sent frogs. And now, watch this. To try to counteract what God did, Pharaoh's magicians, through art, through magic, through illusion, watch this, made more frogs come up on the land of Egypt. Huh? Me? What? You're talking about stuck on stupid? I mean, it's cutting your nose off to spite your face. If there are frogs everywhere and they are already a nuisance, why would you bring more of your misery? Then Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, watch this. This ain't going to get funny up here tonight, folks. Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron in, and the text said he pleads with them. He begs them. He said, listen, go to your God and plead with the Lord. Watch this. Take away the frogs from me. We tired of eating frog legs. And take them away from my people. He said, if you what? Oh, watch this from. I'm just reading the text. I hadn't even started preaching yet. He said, if you take the frogs away, now we'll let the people go to serve and to sacrifice to the Lord. Moses said to Pharaoh, be pleased to command me when I am to plead for you and for your sons and for your people, that the frogs be cut off from you and your houses and be left only in the Nile. He said, now watch this. He said, now tell me when you want this done. Tell me when I should go to the Lord and ask the Lord to remove the nuisance and the noise and the inconvenience and the misery. Tell me when I should do that. This thing is going to get real funny when I get to it. He said, tomorrow. Did you get that? I mean, it's noisy now. They are a nuisance now. They're everywhere now. We're sick and tired frogs. But then he says, oh, this thing is going to preach. I want one more night with frogs. He didn't say that. Well, what do you think he means by tomorrow? He said, as miserable as I am, give me one more night with frogs. Oh, that thing is going to preach. Watch this. Moses said, you want one more night with him? He said, be it as you say, so that you may know that there is no one like the Lord our God. The frog shall go away from you, and your houses, and your servants, and your people, they shall be left only in the Nile. So Moses and Aaron went from Pharaoh, and Moses cried to the Lord about frogs, as he had agreed with Pharaoh. And the Lord did according to the word of Moses. Watch this. The frogs died out in the houses, in the courtyards, and in the fields. And they gathered them together in the heaps. And watch this. We have now gone from the river stinking to the land stinking. But when Pharaoh saw that there was a respite, oh, y'all better listen to me up in here tonight. He hardened his heart and would not listen to them as the Lord has said. You see what he did? He went back on his word. He made a promise and he broke his promise. And watch this. He's just like some of us. When we're in mess, in misery, in trouble, in trial and tribulation, we make all the promises to God. We show up at church. We volunteer for stuff at church. But just as soon as the storm passes, we go right back to that same spiritual condition that we were in. Now, having read that, I want to give you 5 things as to what this plague is all about. And then I want to explain the plague. And then I'll bid you good night. Number one, uh, 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 the fivefold point of the second plague is this. Number one, God exposed Egypt's idols, turning what they worship into a curse. Let me try it again. God exposed Egypt's worship, turning what they considered a blessing into a curse. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Number 2, watch this. God displayed his supreme authority over Egypt's idols, exposing the futility of worshiping creation rather than the creator. Ooh, you're going to see in just a moment that the frog was an idol god. The frog was an object of worship. And God wanted to show them that the frog is a part of creation. He's not to be considered creator. Ooh-wee. Watch this. Number 3. The plague teaches us that anything we desire and worship above God can overwhelm us. What do you mean? They're everywhere. They're blessing. What they considered a blessing was everywhere. And I want you to watch this. They could chew it away, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. Let me get there. Watch this. The plague teaches us that anything we desire and worship above God can overwhelm us. But only he is worthy of our worship and our trust. Number 4, God turned what the Egyptians revered into a curse. See, we eat frog legs. They wouldn't eat them. You'll see why in just a second. The plague reminds us that anything we elevate above God, no matter how desirable and revered, can ultimately overwhelm and enslave us if it does not find its rightful place under the lordship of Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Now, I want you to watch this. Major point number one. God exposed Egypt's idols, turning, watch the word again, what they worship into a curse. Now, Brother, you keep saying what they worship. Okay. So here's the question. Why did God bring the plague of frogs? Why did God send frogs? Are you ready? You see the graphic on the screen, but let me explain the graphic to you. The Egyptians worship a goddess by the name of Heket. Heket. She's the frog goddess. Watch this. She's the goddess. They believe she was the goddess of fertility and childbirth, and will worship through the frog as a symbol of life and renewal after the Nile's flooding. Okay, now let me explain. Let me break this down to you. Heket was an Egyptian goddess depicted with the head of a frog and the body of a woman. Ooh-wee. Teach the Bible, Brother B. Watch this. Heket, she is an Egyptian goddess, but she was always depicted with the head of a frog on top of the body of a woman. Now, we see this kind of stuff in cartoons and in make-believe movies like Superman and Superwoman. Well, in the Egyptian pantheon, this is the goddess that, when depicted, had a frog's head attached to the body of a woman. This goddess was primarily associated with fertility, childbirth, and new life. Heket was believed to be a helper. When a woman got ready to have a child, they believed that Heket had to deliver the newborn. In fact, when the baby was born, they believed it was Heket that breathed life into the newborn. In the words of Fred Ford, say, what? This is what they believe. And watch this. This is why they couldn't kill the frogs. Oh, watch this. Watch this. Midwives would pray to her to safely deliver babies into the world. Thereby, she became an object of reverence and an object of worship. It was believed that she fertilized the Nile, and when it overflowed, it produced an abundance of frogs. Follow me on this one. The Egyptians saw this as Heket's sign of blessing, linking her to the life-giving power of the Nile. And then watch this. Every year, come here. Every year, when the Nile would flood, the waters would overflow its banks, wash off into the land. Watch this. Fertilizing crops. And then watch this. And when the Egyptians saw this, the water overflowing its banks, then the water pushed the frogs from the river to the land. And they believe that the frogs came because she had caused new life. Y'all see what's going on? Watch this. The natural overflow of the river causing all of the minerals from the river now to flow throughout the land, acting as fertilizers. But the river overflowing also pushed the frogs from the river to the land. And they interpreted that as new life being produced from the overflowing of the waters of the Nile. And so they consider this an act of the goddess. I want you to look at the chart I have on the screen. I get the false god of Egypt over against the Lord, the true God. It was claimed for her that she was a goddess of fertility, childbirth, and new life. But the reality is God is the giver of all life and creator of heaven and earth. Frogs seen as her sacred symbols after the Nile floods. But watch what God does. God turns Egypt's symbol of life into a plague of judgment. Egyptians prayed to her for safe deliverance. But the God demonstrated that only he has supreme power over creation. Now, let me summarize and sum this up for you tonight. Because, watch this, there are some questions that demand an answer. Now, come on, think it through with me. I want you to watch this. Question number one, Exodus 8:8. Why would Pharaoh plead with Moses to remove the frogs? Wait, think it through. Why would Pharaoh plead with? Why would Pharaoh call Moses and say, "Hey, bro, listen, tell your God to relieve and to relinquish this misery, this nuisance, this noise. I'll let your people go to the wilderness to serve and to sacrifice for him." Why would he ask Moses to ask God to remove the frogs? I want you to watch this. Watch this. Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, "Plead with the Lord to take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go and sacrifice to the Lord." Moses said to Pharaoh, "Be pleased to command me when I am to plead for you and for your servants and for your people, that the frogs be cut off from you and your houses and only be left in the Nile." Now, Rabbi, why do you keep asking that question? because of the next graphic you're about to see on the screen. Why didn't Pharaoh ask his own magicians to remove the frogs? Watch this. when when God sent the frogs, uh, the text said at Exodus 8:6 that Pharaoh's magicians, through their secret arts and magic, made some frogs come up. Watch this. They couldn't even remove the frogs that they were supposed to produce. Watch the graphic on the screen. You see, they could only imitate. They could not eliminate. Pharaoh said, hey, man, bro, come on back up in there. What's your God to remove this stuff? Let him know his magicians through magic and art caused frogs to come. They couldn't remove them. You see, false gods offer no deliverance. Ooh. Only God has supreme authority. Ooh, but wait a minute. That's another question. And this one is funny and yet serious. Why did Pharaoh ask to spend one more night with frogs? I want you to watch this. I've already read it to you 3 times already. Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, plead with the Lord to take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go and sacrifice to the Lord. Moses said to Pharaoh, be pleased to command me. Said Pharaoh, tell me when I am to plead for you and your people and your servants, for your people, that the frogs be cut off from you and your houses and be left only in the Nile. And watch what he says. Verse 10, tomorrow I'm going to spend as noisy, as nauseating. They are a nuisance. They are loud. They are aggravating. They are intrusive. They are everywhere. They in my bed. They in my shower. They in my pots. They in my pans. They in my kitchen. They in my laundry room. They in my clothes. And yet, I want one more night with them. Isn't that like some of us? I mean, misery and sin has dragged us down. And watch this. And we still, you got it. We won't let it go. Why one more night with the frogs? Oh, I don't have time to. Oh, I got to pass up all this good preaching. Number one, the pride of Pharaoh. Watch this. He refused to surrender. Isn't that like some of us? See, pride makes us endure unnecessary pain instead of humbling ourselves before God. Why wouldn't he let him go? No problem. The problem of procrastination, choosing tomorrow over today. Delaying obedience always leads us to prolonged suffering, friends. And then watch this, the power of familiarity. In other words, clinging to the known, even misery can feel safer than change. What? Oh, are you teaching this book up in here tonight? Well, but let's look at the answers. Remember the questions that I asked? Uh, uh, why would Pharaoh plead with Moses to remove the frogs? Why didn't Pharaoh ask his own magicians to remove the flow? Why did Pharaoh ask to spend one more night? Watch this. Magicians could copy the problem. They couldn't solve it. B. Only God could bring relief. Satan can counterfeit. He cannot kill. Satan can imitate, but he cannot duplicate. Only God has the power to both create, to cure, and to deliver. And I want you to watch this, my friends. God calls us to true repentance, not temporary remorse. As soon as the plague was past, he went right back to harden his heart. You see, friends, real repentance isn't just sorrow when we are uncomfortable. It's surrender when God calls. Let me put it in a nutshell for you. What are the lessons that we can learn from the play? Read fast on the screen. My time is already gone. I want you to watch it. What are the lessons that we can learn from this play? Number one, beware of idols. Anything you exalt above God, whether it's career, whether family, whether it's money, whether it's pleasure, watch this, can multiply into a burden. Number two, don't settle for imitations. The world can offer copies, but only God gives peace. See, folk got $50,000 mattress, but can't sleep at night. They have no peace. And you can't find peace in a pill. And you can't find peace in a prescription. Number three, don't wait until things are unbearable. Turn to God right now. In other words, don't wait until the frogs are in your clothes, in your hair, in your head, on your body, in your car, in your boat, in your bathroom, in your kitchen, in your bedroom, in your bed. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Turn to God right now. And four, God confronts our misplaced trust. They trusted in the goddess of the Nile. God judged her. And five, God shows his power above all limitations and pretenders to the throne. Hate to let all that preaching go. And then watch this. He calls us to practice genuine repentance, not just temporary remorse. I'll leave you with one question. Are we willing to let go of the frogs in our lives before our false gods come hopping home and let God be the Lord. Only God can remove the frogs. Will you let him before they overwhelm you? And until next week, may the Lord of the harvest bless you, and may he bless you real good.